Good morning, good morning. Okay, so here we are for another 5 minute burst of halacha. Um, so a couple halachas that have to do with matzah. We are familiar with something called egg matzah. Now, egg matzah is made out of something that we call in halacha matzah ashira, which means it's a rich man's food. And generally, we have to be yotzeh matzah with a poor man's food. The reason why it's a rich man's food is because it's made with fruit juices and eggs instead of the classical flour and water. So the halacha is that matzah ashira may be chametz according to some poskim, for a couple reasons. First of all, they hold that it's possible, according to some, it's possible that the fruit juice itself turns the chametz, the flour into chametz. But even more importantly, the halacha is, and the science is that it's possible that fruit juices will not turn the flour into chametz, but if there's even one drop of water, then it will make it much more potent to become chametz, and therefore we are makbid not to eat any matzah, egg matzah on Pesach. In fact, egg matzahs should be sold with your chametz, and you should not take them out. There are certain extreme exceptions for those who are allowed to eat egg matzah. People who are extremely elderly, without making any jokes about them surviving to Pesach, or other immunocompromised people. So you should have to go ahead and ask a Rav before you give egg matzah to anybody. But generally, we do not have egg matzah on Pesach, and it should be sold with your chametz. That's one halacha that has to do with matzah. Another halacha that has to do with matzah is that on Erev Pesach, starting from, some say nates, some say alois, some say the night before. So why don't you be machmer on the night before? But I will tell you one thing, there are those who are machmer even from Rosh Chodesh, which is from this coming up Thursday, that we are not allowed to eat matzah. No matzah is permitted. Let's just assume that the halacha is for Erev Pesach alone. That means that you're not allowed to have anything that has matzah in it. And this is not even egg matzah. This is matzah, any type of matzah. And that includes matzah meal and things like that. There is a machlekes brought down in the Mishnah Berurah whether or not this includes cooked matzah. For example, types of knedlach and other gebraks type of things. And the minhag amongst the yeshivish is to be machmir. If a person really needs his knedels on Erev Yontif, then you can call and we can discuss how important it is for you. Most people are machmer, and on Erev Pesach they don't have any type of matzah, which puts us in a unique situation on Erev Pesach when you can't have any matzah, and after the early morning you can't have any chametz. So you're restricted to the fruit section in Jewel. Might be open, might be not. Okay, other halachas. There are many halachas with regards to what constitutes chametz. There's the halachas of bittul. Bittul can occur with chametz before Pesach only. There are halachas of tam chametz. There's halachas of chametz nukshe. There's halachas. There's many different dinim. I'm not going to go through this taruvas chametz. There's nifsa me'achilas chametz. There's all these different halachas. I'm not going to go through the halachas now. What we're going to do is we're going to rely on that little symbol on the package which says either OUP or CRC Pesach and all those things. Other questions like that, like vitamins and things like that, we'll have to go through, and we'll have to, vitamins specifically, actually, any medicine that we'll leave the medicine for another time. But most of the shilas we're not going to discuss why or if it's mutter on Pesach or not. We're going to just rely on the kashrus organizations. But suffice to say that each of these things is a huge miktzaya and cannot be fit into a 5-minute cheer. But there's an interesting halacha that bittul can occur. In other words, if you have less than 1/60th of chametz that falls into a mixture of something else, then bittul can occur specifically before Pesach and not on Pesach. So with regards to whether or not something is kosher for Pesach or not, I would just suggest that you rely on the kashrus organizations. If it says kosher on the package, you could assume that it is kosher in the package. That being said, when checking the hechsher on a package, you always have to be sure that the hechsher is talking for you, because you'll notice a lot of times that egg matzahs have on the hechsher kosher for Pesach. That's only kosher for Pesach if you're elderly and very sick or something like that. But because, like we said before, it's possible that it's kosher for Pesach with regards to being an egg matzah, meaning that according to those places that say that it's mutter, which we only rely upon for elderly people. So it's very important that when you check in the package, it doesn't say l'sfardim bilvad or something like that, because Sfardim have a hechsher, have a special kula that they're allowed kidneys and things like that. A lot of times you'll notice kosher for Pesach, and in small words, l'sfardim bilvad. So you'll see that in canola oil and things like that. Canola oil you cannot use, and Ashkenazi you cannot use, because a lot of these things do not fall under the Ashkenazi hechsher, and Sfardim in this case are much more makel. You see those Sephardi matzahs, those nice fat pitas. So an Ashkenazi will not eat such a thing. So be careful when checking the package that it's a clear across the board kosher for Pesach. Egg matzahs, like we said, even if it has a kosher for Pesach, cannot be relied upon because it's kosher for Pesach for those that need it. All right, I wish you all a great and amazing day. Keep steiging.